this is something which is specific to residential care homes.
It's saying we're prepared to invest in you.
It highlights that actually you are doing it right.
And more than many evaluations that I've done, this did seem to have positive features.
Children's emotional health and well-being is on the agenda, and we know that actually reaching children in children's homes is really, really difficult because they're often so very troubled, and the way that we can reach them is through their caregivers. So for commissioners who are thinking, can I afford to invest in a programme like this? Do I want to? I would say, how could you not?
RESuLT is a 10-week training programme for residential childcare workers.
And the idea is to get the team together, to get them working collectively and effectively in terms of working with the young people that are in care.
It's grounded and rooted in the experience of residential staff.
All the sessions are highly relevant to our role, so people have found it invaluable.
We know that some of our most vulnerable children reside in children's homes. We know that there is a lot of good work happening there, but we know it could improve.
The Department for Education commissioned the National Implementation Service to conduct a scoping exercise where we looked at the training that people had thus far and any particular gaps that might exist. And from there, designed the RESuLT curriculum.
One of the deficits, I think, of what's always been around before for residential is that it's never been geared specifically to residential workers.
We've never really had much specific training, particularly for our role, and that's what RESuLT has been designed to do. It really fills a gap.
I think the ethos of the training for me is there are different theoretical strands within it about social learning theory, how we reinforce behaviour of children, about developing interpersonal skills, and also about neuroscience. We know more about the brain now, and the adolescent brain is better understood.
Most of that seems to be new learning for the staff, and they really find it useful in helping to explain why teenagers behave the way they do. The young people they're working with's brains are still very much developing, and they can have a big impact on the way that their brains are shaped with their input.
3 months before RESuLT training, the National Implementation Service meets with the senior managers from the local authority or independent provider of residential care. We would be talking about the curriculum for the RESuLT programme and also exploring the young people who are living within that children's home and the staff team who are working there. We think it's really important to understand this before we start training and also work with the registered manager and the seniors who will be supporting the staff whilst they're going through the training.
One of the facilitators is someone with a residential childcare background. They have expertise in that area of work, and that gives additional credibility when training a full staff team. The other person brings particular expertise around child and adolescent mental health. We know that many of the young people who are being looked after in children's homes have additional needs around their emotional and psychological well-being. So having someone with particular expertise in that area means that they can help the staff team think about how to address those issues outside of the training.
The RESuLT programme is a modular training programme. It's 10 3-hour sessions and we cover a different topic each week.
Early on in the curriculum, staff are encouraged to look at the issue of modelling, which is just how they behave with each other and in front of the young people. We also look at emotional recognition so that, again, staff are able to demonstrate their ability to notice, name and manage a range of emotions in themselves, but also with the young people. And latterly, thinking about how staff communicate effectively within the rest of the professional network.
And we learn in lots of different ways. We watch relevant video clips. We have group discussions, we do exercises in small groups, we read relevant journal articles and papers and discuss them together. We think together with the staff team about how the week's content relates to particular young people that they have living in that home. And we ask them to go and try a specific technique, maybe that they've learnt in the session, try it out at the home and then come and feed back to us the next week.
It gave us something to think about when we then took it back into our workplace.
Every week we would go back and do a task as a team in the house. For example, we'd be overly nice, say please and thank you, and exaggerate that. All the children thought it was really weird for the first few hours, and then they started saying please and thank you and being really polite to us as well.
Sessions are filmed every week, and that gets sent off to the NIS, and our supervisor will watch the film and then give us some feedback on what she has seen. So she's kind of checking out that we're staying online with the RESuLT model. But she's also noticing things actually that we may not notice as facilitators, and giving us some sort of pointers for how we might direct, conversations the following week.
RESuLT is different to other trainings within the sector because it's a whole team training. So we would encourage everyone to join together for the training, which is no mean feat.
You're involving people from the kitchen, from the cook, right up to the manager.
If you've got 20 odd people working within a children's home with 7 children we have in our home, and they're all working very differently, you're not going to be very effective.
When they all go back to work together, they've all been learning the same thing, so it's easier for it to become embedded in the fabric of the home, I think.
They can look at a particular incident together and discuss how they may have handled it differently in a way which is non-blaming, because they're working from a principle.
The kids have actually enjoyed having that consistent approach because they don't like it when it's not there.
There's a wide range of knowledge within the home. So for myself, I'm quite young and new to this, and it's great to hear other people's experience and knowledge.
It makes you more mindful of how you relate to other people, not just with the children that we work with, but our colleagues, and also within my own sort of personal life as well.
To have such structured training specifically for the whole team to look at how they will work together as a group, I think that's been quite powerful.
RESuLT is specifically designed for their role. It's something that they haven't had before, this tailored training specifically for them.
The biggest thing I learned was we learned how to use micro steps. So my key child was very anxious and didn't go out much at all. And we sat down and we put in the plan about 15 micro steps. And it was from the first one was going out and walking to the shops with a staff member. Now he's going out and doing shopping for himself and cooking once a week.
When you are going through this 10-week programme, it highlights that actually you are doing it right. There is a reason that you're doing it, and you do make a difference.
It's saying we're prepared to invest in you. You're important to us because you do one of our most difficult jobs.
The fact that someone's actually thinking about us and thinking about the challenges that we face on a daily basis, it adds value to our work.
More than many evaluations that I've done, this did seem to have positive features. We had a measure of what we called the Staff at Work questionnaire, and it looked at things like whether people felt stressed in their work, what were their levels of motivation, did they feel that they worked well with the rest of the group, and on some important dimensions, including quality of work, communication and motivation, there were statistically significant differences.
The RESuLT data has informed the development of the programme that we're delivering. It has progressed over the 5 years and will continue to do so.
We provide an infrastructure that will give people kind of concrete data, which will tell you whether you're spending your money wisely and whether you should carry on spending it in that way or whether you need to think about something else.
When we interviewed staff and children, we were giving examples of it being used on a daily basis. So I think our overall conclusion was certainly that the RESuLT training is worthwhile.
Some of the data that we're getting back indicates that children are running away less, that there are less restraints being used within the children's home where RESuLT's taking place. Young people tell us that the home environment is a happier place for them to be. And also from staff team members that they are clearer about the work that they're doing and are happier in the work setting. So for those reasons, we feel we're getting some really good positive early indicators that RESuLT is doing what we intended it to do.
What this does for your residential staff is it gives them not only the knowledge, but the practical skills to be able to demonstrate how to deliver the best services to the children you're looking after.
It is fantastic for increasing staff's confidence at work, staff's vocabulary. They feel more confident speaking in multi-agency meetings because RESuLT gives them a language of describing their practice and the interventions that they're using. It's been fantastic for staff.
Once the programme has been kind of embedded and potentially has been sustained, and the facilitators are moving towards becoming accredited to deliver that programme in an ongoing way, costs significantly reduce, and that, in our view, hugely aids the programme then being disseminated more widely in an organisation and ultimately being more sustainable.
RESuLT for me is the building blocks on which you can then build your children's home. That children's home then will be fit for purpose. You can then gear that to respond to the needs of the looked after children in your area.